Welcome to Fit to Parent. My name is Moonye Christian. Today we'll be looking at the TROVERT factor in parenting. One of the most important lines of action in parenting is understanding the TROVERT factor in a child's temperament. Note, a child can be an introvert or an extrovert. As simple as this sounds, it is the root cause of all actions and behavior among children. If you understand this, stress, so-called shame, comparison, and the disappointment you face in parenting will drastically reduce, especially when you are with your children in public. This introvert and extrovert temperament of a child alone simplifies our parenting job, and our understanding of it will help shift our parenting view or perspective. Now, to be able to draw a proper lesson from this episode, let's look at 3 things that can shift your view about your child. The first is a question, and I ask, is your child stubborn? Is your child disobedient? Or is your child playful? Take a moment to answer this question and check, where does your child falls? The answer will begin to shift your view about your child. For me, the answer to this question is that my children are just playful. The reason behind that is because they are extroverts. Now, let's see what I discovered about play. Play is to a child what work or business is to an adult. Play is an important and an indispensable part of a child's life. If we deny them play, we have stolen something from their childhood. That will create a vacuum in their life. And that vacuum will create a social problem in their teenage years and adulthood. Play brings balance and stability to a child's mental and psychological makeup. Please note, a playful child is a stable adult. All we need to learn as parents is how to channel that energy they express through play and too much talking. Let's see the second thing that will help shift your view about your child. That is knowing the basic characteristics of an introvert and an extrovert child. An introvert loses energy from social interaction and physical activities. This is why they are always calm and quiet. But an extrovert child gains energy from social interaction and physical activities. This is why they are always talking, playing, and running around. You see, social interaction and physical activities make an extrovert child feel rich and well, while it is depleting the energy of an introvert child. This fact is very important in parenting. Understanding this will save you from a life of comparison, unnecessary stress, and the mistake in parenting like crushing your child's inborn energy, outgoing personality, and makeup simply because you want them to act like someone else. So, when you are tempted to compare your extrovert outgoing child with another child who is an introvert, you are wrong. When we force our children to behave opposite their personality, we might end up with a liability instead of an asset. Yes, many of our children are victims of this mistake. Well, it is not too late to correct our wrong. I know you want them to be seated like other children. To us, it shows our children are well behaved. I know you want your house to be well arranged the way you left it. I know you don't want them to play in public and disgrace you. I know you don't want them to stain their new clothes while they play. But when you are doing all this, remember the above mentioned points. So, the first assignment in parenting should be to know and understand your child's temperament, whether they are extrovert or introvert children. Now, the third thing that will help shift your view about your child is the image on the screen. The image on the screen says, shift your parenting view. This is very instructive. Note that your child is not stubborn. He is determined. Your child is not a deviant. He is learning to express his opinions. Your child is not bossy. He is honing his leadership skills through trial and error. Your child is not selfish. He's expressing his ownership and responsibilities. Let's look at our children differently now. This will help us nurture them differently. Let's look at the second diagram on the screen. This diagram shows some childhood traits. Parents often think they are negative, but in reality, see what these traits and energies are designed to help them become if we nurture them through effective parenting education. As you look at the screen, we have two columns: the negative childhood traits and the positive adulthood traits. If we nurture these negative childhood traits through parenting education, it will produce the following positive adulthood traits. Let's see the first on the diagram. Stubbornness produces resilience. Deviancy helps them stand up for what they believe in. It's a foundation that will help them stand up for what they believe in. What we call disobedience is a foundation for ambition and pushing boundaries if properly nurtured through parenting education. What is a trait, a foundational trait that helps them become affectionate. What we call answering back is a strong foundation, if nurtured properly, helps them build strong sense of self-worth and self-belief. What you refer to as not doing what they are told is a childhood trait. Through parenting education, we help them become confident and blowing hot to peer pressure. And then what we often call always touching what they should not is a childhood foundational trait. If nurtured properly, we help them become inquisitive and inspired to learn. This is why we should not leave a child to grow up by default. If our focus is just preparing our children for school and church, without focusing on home training that deals with all these threats and energies will be a disadvantage. Points to note: 1. Don't force a child to behave opposite their personality or temperament. They might end up a liability instead of an asset. Don't make them act who they are not. This is a fake identity you are creating. This is why when children grow up, they are faced with identity crisis and do not believe in themselves. 2. Don't talk and shout until your child is confused and begins to act like a robot. Once you kill your child's self-image, the willpower to resist influence and peer pressure is weakened. This is the beginning of vulnerability. Without us parents realizing it, yelling, bullying, threats, shouting, cursing, etc. brings a child into the feeling of worthlessness, and this leads to adverse childhood experience. Children who struggle with the thoughts of worthlessness keep making mistakes and can hardly do anything right. Check history. 3. Don't crush your child's energy they are expressing through play and talk just because you don't know how to manage it. This is why we all need parenting education. Temperament is why people act the way they do. It is a lifetime energy. That energy behind their playful or talkative nature might not be useful today, but when they grow up, it will help them conquer the world. Don't kill it. The fact still remains that energy can be killed. If you kill it, your child can remain a mediocre for the rest of their lives. What do we do to manage their energies, especially for extrovert children? 1. Don't let them remain idle. Engage their energy by assigning them daily tasks. 2. Get them into leadership roles. 3. Engage their energies in learning a new skill. Also, engage their energy in playing musical instruments. Also, involve them in household chores early enough. Things like cooking. Though this will mess up your kitchen, but I promise you it will help. Finally, accept your child the way they are. When you get back home today, call your children, hug them, say to them, I love you the way you are. This is where we bring this episode to a close. Say thank you for watching and see you in the next episode.